Hey guys, welcome back, and once again, as you can already see from the thumbnail, this is going to be more of a philosophic kind of video. The other day I kept myself thinking about popular sim challenges, cause casual simmers play challenges, but pro simmers reflect on them. I know the day will come when someone won't get the irony and say I'm bullying other simmers, but until then, let's carry on with this video. So let me tell you, I admire people who are able to come up with unique gameplay ideas, capable of setting up complex and balanced rule sets, and most of the time I feel like I understand the motivation behind these attempts. However, there is one exception.
The 100 Baby Challenge is a challenge in the Sims community where a female sim gives birth to 100 babies.
What?
A female sim gives birth to 100 babies.
Why on earth would anyone do that out of their own free will?
Hey Lilith, what would you do if you had eternal life?
Get rich, travel the world, buy a house on an island, I guess.
That sounds nice. I was thinking about getting pregnant with quadruplets 25 times from 25 different men, and consecrating my life raising them on my own.
Now I understand there are people who desire to have a big family, but there's a difference between having a big family and raising 100 kids. Anyway, this got me thinking, there's gotta be a way to make this scenario more believable. And fear not, after long days of meditation... Oh, I mean about the challenge. I was enlightened, so I can share with you the answer to this everlasting question. Whose interest would it be to make 100 babies? Well, guys and aliens. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? You kinda knew it all along. So let me tell you the story of Jeff and Pascal, two seemingly completely ordinary men whose lives hide far more than we might think at first glance. Jeff was raised by his grandparents after his father ran away with a stripper and his mother died in a house fire. Okay, I know this sounds quite strange, but trust me, these kind of things could have happened to anyone back in those days. Jeffrey's grandfather was a retired general, a true hero in the community. This means that while other kids grew up listening to tales about princesses, dragons, and fair knights, he fell asleep listening to war anecdotes and his grandfather's endless rants about how tough Jeffrey's generation was, and he would only die in peace knowing his grandson carries on his legacy. Jeff stayed true to his promise and joined the army when he grew up. Just like his late grandfather, he appears to be a natural talent and soon reached the top of the hierarchy, but in his heart, he felt that something was missing. He knew there was a way to honor the memory of his grandfather even better. So he decided to get his wife pregnant as many times as he could and send those kids to the military school, providing continuous supply for the army.
Come on, Jeffrey, you can do it. Pave the way, put your back into it. Tell us why. Show us how. Look at where you came from, look at you now.
His wife was very happy about the thing initially. She loved kids in general and was happy to give birth to, let's say, 4 or 5 of them, but her heart got broken each and every time she had to say goodbye. This led to more and more conflicts between her and Jeff, until one day she had enough and left to live a normal life, with a stripper. Anyway, Jeff was devastated. He drowned his sorrow into wine for long nights, but then a sudden realization hit him. He was thinking, hey, I wasn't the one giving birth to my 5 kids so far. My body is still in a perfect, outstanding shape, ready to seduce anyone. So this is how Jeffrey met his second wife, Amy, and started trying for a baby once again. If only he had known that Amy had zero interest in having kids. Amy disappeared mysteriously a couple of weeks later. After this incident, Jeff made sure to check his partner's background better, and so he continued his mission to send as many kids to military school as he possibly could. The protagonist of the next story is a sim very well known by all of you, Pascal Curious, but in an alternate universe. So Pascal Curious was... curious. Ever since his childhood, he was fascinated with sci-fi. He covered the walls of his room with alien posters, and deeply in his heart, he dreamt of meeting them one day. Seeing his strange obsession, his brothers gifted him the best telescope on the market to celebrate him starting his adult life. Needless to say, while others were stuffing themselves with cake in the house, Pascal stood unswervingly, gazing at the starry sky. And then, a miracle happened. A bright dot crossed the sky, a shooting star perhaps. But as he was trying to tackle its way, he started to feel a strange presence behind his back. As he turned slowly, he couldn't believe his eyes. His dream was finally coming true, he thought. And indeed it did. But at what cost? When he regained his consciousness, he found himself in a strangely empty room, feeling dizzy and nauseous. He noticed some food and drink were left for him at the doorstep, but it tasted nothing like the food he was used to, even though it looked deceptively similar. For long days, or maybe even weeks, he hasn't seen a single soul, but the usual meal was there waiting for him every single time he woke up, just as the continuously growing cramp inside his belly. Until one day he woke up, and it was all gone. His body was suddenly back to its normal shape, but he didn't notice. He was not able to feel relief because he had no memories of hosting an alien offspring inside his body. All he felt was the dizziness and nausea he felt before, but couldn't remember. Pascal, or more like what's left of him, was returned home after incubating 22 alien babies throughout his imprisonment. Even if he remembered nothing, he was overthrown by a visceral fear every time he looked at his once precious telescope. He also had no idea how many other Sims were out there sharing this same strange phobia with him.